Welcome all masters. Today's topic is death and suicide. And we are going to start now.
With one question that was posted in the group. What was the question that was posted in the group?
So Kirtiji said are there actually any ghosts? Is there a concept of hell? Is there a hell? Are there ghosts and demons? That was the question.
Please, it's not coming. Okay. It doesn't show all of them. 1 second.
A message Shailesh ji. I think he is probably in a session or he's probably busy. Just carry.
Your screen also misbehaving today. Once, just give me a minute. The
Sure,
reason
sir.
is okay.
I see the question she posted. Let's discuss the existence and myths about ghosts, devils, hell. Why these terms are used. That was the question.
Do I have permission to share? I would like to share
Yes,
the
yes, sir.
page of the
Please.
book.
Yes, sir. I can give you co-host.
So that we could read that and then discuss it both.
I did, sir. You can share now.
Because I have also not really spent time because of other commitments. Right?
Yeah.
Side. This. Okay. So you are able to see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes.
So what does Seth say about evil and demons? Right? Fundamentally, all these are aspects of our belief system.
Mm.
Right? You believe there is evil, there is evil. You believe there is a ghost, right? So what is he saying? According to Seth, there is no hell or objective evil or demons. This is not to say that people don't do evil things, as in harmful, cruel, hurtful, thoughtless, and so on. But it does mean that there is no objective thing or creature as evil. Right? What is he saying? He says that there is nothing evil as is exist, but people or creatures, they do things which are termed evil, termed bad, and so on. Now, what is the reference to with which they are saying that something is bad or good or evil? Is there a reference point there? Right?
Mm-hmm.
So,
Right. So the answer is no. People encounter these things because they create them based on their beliefs. See, reality is one, but reality in your eyes is going to be different from that in Surekha's eyes, is going to be different from that in Namrata's eyes, is going to be different from my eyes. Right?
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
based on their beliefs, and then they experience. Right?
Mhm.
So you could say this about all of reality creation as well, but these demonic creations and more personal and not a shared part of reality, as is the weather, a slice of pizza, a car, or shoes you wear. These are parts of the mass shared and co-created realities or reality upon which we navigate as we learn about ourselves. Right? We navigate as we learn through, as we move through. We learn about them, but what do we assimilate? What do we absorb from that? Right? The mind takes a position and you take all material supporting that, right? That is the way we conclude. So these are all, this evil, devil, are not part of the mass shared, but only shared by those who strongly believe in their existence. Right? I will believe to such an extent, like if you go to many of the villages and the childhood stories, there would be that someone, if you go to a particular tree in the night and come back, right, the ghosts have left you. But if something happens to you, you are devoured by the ghost. Now, as a child, you don't know what is real, what is not real. There is the
Mhm.
story of a child which goes in the middle of the night, goes to the tree, and a hooked branch in the tree, right, catches hold of the edge of his shirt. He dies of scare. Now, the
Fear.
belief is
Yeah.
that just like what happened in Hyderabad a long time ago, ideally, the word Vastu that you keep hearing,
Mm-hmm.
right, is actually architecture oriented towards energy and light flow in the house,
Yeah.
right? And something happened a few years back wherein a building suddenly became imbalanced. So what I heard is that that group, the builder had to survive, right? So he brought out the concept in a strong manner, saying, the building actually became imbalanced because of Vastu dosha. He had to survive his business. So he brought out that and he vociferously recommended, saying, this house is going to have a problem. You tell me, what has a gate got to do with your Vastu? Which is not inside the building, it is somewhere outside the building. But then people started believing in all this nonsense to such an extent that today a person who is going to take a house on rent will say, he will bring a Vastu consultant and he will inquire whether the house has got Vastu. Originally, the Vastu was a town planning manual meant for a complete village. Why? Because the natural resources had to flow through to every household. What are the natural resources? The water, the shared resources like greenery and all. Now, using the excuse of the individual's belief system, right? They wanted to protect some of it, like there are entities which want to protect their land. So they will build a huge Shiva idol there in the open, and then one portion of it they will leave for Shiva's worship. The rest of it they will construct their house or do whatever they want. Now, what is he doing? So very similar to that is saying there is a death, there is a ghost, and so on. Whereas what we are learning from in the spiritual concepts is there is no death. What you have, what you encounter is actually a life, right, which has got multiple projects of learning that you need to undergo. And in the course, right, there are certain actions that you have to perform and take the lessons. Period. Don't go beyond that, because everything that death means has got no evil associated with it. If you believe that it is evil, you are going to condition your environment such that you will start experiencing only those. In other words, where focus goes, energy flows. Right? So this is one of the, see, heaven is simply a metaphor. He is explaining it very clearly. Heaven is simply a metaphor. Right? For afterlife that we each experience. Now, we don't know. If you really read about near-death experience, I remember my grandmother telling me she didn't know about near-death experience. She said, I went there and the people there told me, you still have time, go back. Right? And she was about 88 years at that time. And she told it in her language, which is very crude. Those who understand Telugu will understand. Right? And that's a very, very crude terminology. Galiyon se bhara hua hai. Right? But for them, that is their way of speaking. We may call it improper, but there in those days that was a natural way of colloquial communications. Right? We may find fault, but then they cannot. So she said, okay, kunka. Kunka means, wretched, go back. You don't have place here yet. You still have time on the earth, you go back. Right? Now, so these kind of things, it depends upon how you take it. You can take the entire sentence. You take that small portion of the essence of it. Correct? And then you are subjecting it to your interpretation. Right? So, Seth
Sir, can I
also
say
has said
something?
that the
Can I ask?
yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah.
can I ask something? Can I interject
Oh,
something?
of course, of
But sir,
course.
so there, that is agreed that, like, yes, we create through our thoughts, we create our own reality. And if we are thinking that something is evil or bad, that's what manifests in for us. But this is not to say that, sir, that there are uh, other forms of energy. So we say that yes, there is no death, but when this body finishes its cycle and the soul vacates, so there will be the souls of other people also around us, right?
Very good
In different
question.
stages.
No, no, very good question. Let's see what it means. Do you exist only on planet Earth?
Well, we
No.
can exist multidimensionally
That
now
is
that we
what, no,
understand.
no, that is what you are able to perceive with your limited understanding of what we are.
Yeah.
Rarely do we understand whether, right? So it's become some sort. Right. So if you are a multi-layered structure, right? You are a multi-layered structure.
Yeah, we have the causal body and different, yeah.
Correct. So you have this structure, right? You're able to see my screen. You
Yes.
know
Yeah.
what? Our universe is a layered structure. Okay. What structure to structure, what is the fundamental thing that is changing? It is the,
Consciousness.
I don't know, I mean, that is all bookish. Let us think about it practically. In the layers, right? You
Okay.
have got, the moment you say you are layered, right? There are
Mm-hmm.
multiple components and you are broken down into those components. Like the
Right.
simple example, I come to a room, let us say the flooring is wooden, everything is shiny. I said there is no dust. The place was so clean, right? Into the same place, I bring a broomstick or I bring a vacuum cleaner and run it all across the room. And I open the vacuum cleaner, I find a
Yeah.
small heap of dust,
Mm-hmm.
right? The dust existed when it appeared clean also, correct?
Yes.
Right? Only thing you have pulled it together. When you pull it, so in one dimension, you appear as though all the particles that you are made of are pulled.
Mm.
And the structure there that is visible has got bones because all the atoms have been put into, all the minerals have assembled together and they have created a structure that is known as the bone structure. Okay. The next layer on that is the flesh. All the atoms have pulled that component of those particles together that it has got breathing life in it. Right? That has become the flesh. Now, where is this flesh sitting? The flesh is sitting on the structure that was supporting it, which is the bones. So you are existing. But before that, before your bones were formed, where were you? What would be the answer to that question if we pose that question to ourselves?
We were still in some sort of particles or atoms somewhere
So
scattered.
we were
We were not
sitting as
pulled yet.
particles. We were
Yeah.
not as dense as the physical body, right?
Right.
We were, then our density was lesser than that. So because of that mass, that weight, we were not able to reach the physical ground. We were one layer above, right? We existed in that stage. We are actually not existed, it is existing, right? The way, so there is a pathway at the highest level also we exist, which is the sixth dimension and above.
Mm.
Then you have got the fifth dimension, which is the spiritual part of it, right? And as you come down, your thoughts, your emotions, all those are you only, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Right? As the density increases, that particular environment or the atmosphere there is not able to hold,
Yeah.
right? Your density is such that you are beyond the force of gravity to be there. That is why you fall. You fall. You fall. And you ultimately hit Mother Earth because it is absolutely rigid.
Mm.
Right? It is able to take. It is able to hold you. Right? That is what is our existence. But unfortunately, for you to see, experience, feel, and so on, in those levels, you have to transcend the level of physicality.
Mm.
Right? That is why all those statements that you asked, you are not able to see it. Because on the planet Earth, how do you see? You see by virtue of, what do you see? You see by virtue of your physical senses.
Right.
Right? But physical senses are of no use. Can you see behind your head what is happening? Does it mean
No.
nothing is happening?
Yes, of course. Yes.
Got it? Right?
Yeah.
Next question. So, death is one such thing, right? Beyond the duality of good and evil. Here, everything is dual. Why? Because there is the component of inside versus outside. Right? When we are to ourselves, so there is a projection involved in duality.
Mm.
We are projecting our reality, and so we have got two viewpoints, one which is mine, one which is shared.
Mm.
In this
Okay.
shared component is the existence of the belief system. Right? If you read a sentence, you will first take in what is visible to you, what is comprehensible to you.
Yeah.
Right? So,
Sir, can you
yeah,
explain more about this shared system? How does it work?
okay. Let us use the word common sense. What do you understand from the word common sense?
Which is common, which exists in like it's for
So
everybody. Like
everyone looks at it and
yes.
sees everything
Mm,
that is right. Common
mm.
sense is actually very, very personal,
It's not that
but
common.
it has got a universal meaning also.
Mm-hmm.
Are you getting the basics?
Yes,
Right?
sir.
Yes,
So
sir.
that what is common is actually the shared wisdom,
Shared wisdom.
right? A snake is poisonous. Is that a shared concept or the individual concept?
Shared.
Shared because everybody can experience the same thing.
No, no,
And
everybody can
known
Everybody
experience,
believes that.
but every
Mm,
belief.
snake you
Yes.
look at,
mm.
is
Yes.
it poisonous?
No, no,
No.
not every
Not
snake,
all. Yeah.
But the
but
first moment that you see any kind of a snake,
Snake.
what
yeah,
Yes.
the
passes
Yes.
through
thought
your
we
mind?
get. Yes.
Right? That is
Yes.
common. That is
Mm,
shared. Right?
mm.
Mm-hmm.
Sir, I would like to add one point for the above one, the demons thing.
Hmm.
Unless until you want me to wait, I can wait after you
No,
finish
no, no,
this.
go ahead.
Yeah. So for the demons and, the way, or at least I could understand, or I would teach my kids in my Bal Vihar, is basically, if you think about the scriptures, what we have in Ramayana or, Mahabharata and all that, who are demons basically? Demons are the people who have evil thoughts. Like, they are, if you, I was just thinking, and when you were reading, so the people who don't have that God qualities, we can think in that way also. They are completely out of their divine or the godliness. And if you take Ravana or any of those people, right? We tell them demons, but for little kids, or at least we could understand because they are all. I think we have seen in India a lot of things, but here, if you tell them it's just demons, they will not understand. So basically, the way we tell is like, they are the bad qualities in a person. Ravana had a really bad qualities. That's why he
No,
was like a demon.
actually,
I mean,
that is
he was
our
a great
understanding.
meditator.
No, no,
Yes,
he
yes.
was not a great meditator. He was the
Oh, he did
greatest scholar. He
Yes,
was he
everything.
was
that
Yeah.
the greatest scholar. He was a
was right.
staunch Shiva Bhakta.
Bhakta.
Hmm.
Okay. He
Yes.
had his own weaknesses, I don't deny. Right?
Mm. Mm.
So your explanation could have been every individual has
I was
strengths
about to say
and
that even
weaknesses.
like
He is
me
not a
or
bad
everyone,
person. See, the
you
moment
got it. Yeah.
right? Are
Yes,
you
yes,
getting
yes.
it?
Yeah, yeah, I got it.
Moment
So
we tell the child this is bad, that becomes a belief system,
yeah, yeah.
right?
I mean,
Now,
basically,
the
he was a
moment you
poor.
say that
Yeah,
you have strengths, you have weaknesses,
weaknesses.
Weaknesses.
correct? Now,
Mm.
they are qualities. They are not personifying anyone,
Yeah, yeah. I mean, when we are
right?
telling the story, that's how we could,
I know, you see,
express it
that is
with.
how
But
we heard it, so we are only narrating it in the same way.
The
But
shared
if we
wisdom that we have acquired.
today, after spending so many years, let's say even 3 years is a lot many years in meditation, that's what I am understanding, right?
mm,
In 3 years, what have the same thing if I read today? Oh, now why did Rama send Lakshmana, right,
Yes, yes.
to
Why?
Ravana
To Ravan
to
to get
learn
the.
before he leaves his earth,
She's,
right?
yes.
He says, you go, he is the greatest scholar you will ever find on this earth. Go and learn these things,
yeah,
right?
Mm-hmm.
Why does he send him? If he was an evil guy, right? There are qualities. And what happens is when we are conveying that message, we should remember that these are all two sides of or two facets of a coin.
Okay, point.
hmm,
Anybody can cross the line and go into that stage.
mm,
Right. Very good. I mean, you raised a very important point, Sudeka. In our communication, right? When we are projecting something, we sometimes project it with that level of passion, right? And that passion stays with the other person.
yeah.
And
I mean,
I think,
I
sir,
felt
yeah,
I
Yeah.
felt like
go ahead.
whatever Seth is talking, we already know everything in all our scriptures. At least some of them. I may not know all of this, but when he was talking about demons and all, oh, I felt like we know. I mean, through our scriptures, but he's putting in a like more westernized terminology or the words he's using. It's exactly the same what we have heard and what we have learned through all the scriptures.
But
I mean,
one
at
thing
least
that
this
is
part.
important is, see, one thing,
Hmm.
even when you read all the other books of Seth, one thing that you will get is it is not the uh,
It's way
westernized
beyond our.
terminology. No, 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 it is not the westernized terminology
Hmm.
because you won't be born in the same place in so many lifetimes.
Hmm. Yeah.
Okay, right. Your birth, actually, that book that I posted, the soul contract,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
decoded,
Yeah.
you people should understand what it is. That
The audiobook.
explains that based on what we want to learn, just like what we do on the physical earth, right?
Yeah.
When your son or child wants to go to an educational institute at the schooling level, it doesn't matter, right? But as you go into the seniority in the school, do you start focusing on which school is better and all that,
Yeah.
Yes.
right? Why? Because if you have a project in life, you want your life to be a medical, you want to build a career in the medicine, you will not go to an engineering college. Am I right?
Yeah.
So you start choosing which place, which location, how far is it, how expensive is it. There are so many conditions, but the objective is learning, right? And the best learning. The same way, when we are working on our pre-birth plan, we first choose who are the parents who are going to give me the flexibility for me to learn. That is why Patriji says beyond 14 years, they are here for their soul experience, right? We learn that in spiritual tablets too.
Okay.
Yes.
So, just like what we do on this earth, it is no different. So, we start choosing the parents, the siblings, the friends, or the people who are going to be the resistance for us. And these come in as lessons, energies pertaining to lessons, energies pertaining to talents, energies pertaining to goals. These three, visualized from a physical perspective and a spiritual perspective, lays down the overall project plan, which you call purpose of life, which you call soul destiny. Are you all with me? Right?
Yes.
Now, so those are the parameters on the basis of which. Now, if you take the Bhagavad Gita, probably it was written centuries ago, right? And Seth's wisdom is still continuing. Right? He is somewhere amongst us still continuing his life's journey, whether it is physical or non-physical. The essence of both is one and the same. Right? But then its interpretation and application has got the domain of time because we need to understand them and implement. So the language has to be current. Language of yesterday, if you read Thinking and Destiny, that is the fundamental problem. The problem is the language. Right? So that is the essence, because all the books that I've been reading, right, I'm finding that they are conveying the same message. Either partially in a limited text context or in a full context. Right? So that's the way we should look at all these. If I say something today, it cannot become gospel truth. It is with reference to the context. So all these have got a contextual bearing. The word demon was correct because the maturity of the people in yesteryears was far higher. For them, demon meant a quality. But for us, demon has become a character.
Character, a person.
You're able to get the subtle point, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Yes,
What you're
sir.
saying is perfect, but what is happening? The understanding that we have taken from it has become very narrow. It
Yeah.
means more than that.
Yeah, I think for Western people or Western countries, say Gita is like, I know now, I think Western world also knows Gita, but once upon a time it was mostly Indians, right? It was only
Correct.
Indian people.
No,
But
not only Indians. There were people in some of the others like Buddhists,
yeah,
Germans, right? Now I'm given to understand. I was reading a book by Chamanla, a book in the early 19th century or end 18th century, right? what we understand as Red Indians,
Hmm.
they are
Hmm.
actually Hindus.
Oh, really?
Hmm. Right?
Red
And
Indians. Oh,
yes, they were in the Northern America.
Yeah.
They were settlers there. Okay.
I mean,
Because now excavations, they are finding temples there.
where, sir? Which place is it?
I will send you the book. You can read. He has got evidence constructed over every year's progression in all those places. I was literally blown away by that book.
Actually, even in the terms of like sense of evolution, when this entire like now we are divided into 7 continents, all this was like the super Pangea, like there was a super landmass. So it is
Yes.
quite possible like people would migrate from one part of the world to other, and now we are
I will
finding
send
some
that book.
evidences.
I
Yeah.
will send
So
that
yeah,
book.
in terms of
It's
evolution,
really,
we can like understand.
I mean, I just need to search because my phone has become empty. I changed my phone and all those old books, I'm not able to locate them where they were. Because I had a 256 GB memory phone and that ran out of space because of the amount of books that I had. So I've upgraded. Right. So now that is all history. Right. The history that was taught to us in India, today we are realizing is all BS. Right? It is meaningless. What was taught to us. It was done by, you see, the way it is, right? When a company acquires another company, right? They want their DNA to run through it. So everything that the company, the first company, the one that was bought over, whatever it created has now become a property of this guy, correct?
Hmm.
Right. And as a result, this has become their property. Now they will give it their color. Likewise, many of the systems have undergone those changes, including our souls. Right? Today we are where we are. Probably that's the reason why Sureka, I think in this PSSM, they say, be with an empty cup.
Yeah. Sir, my computer, I think, has some issue.
I can see blissful arts also.
I just logged in through my phone, but I think my screen went blank. I hope it's recording. You all can see still?
Did you say record on the computer or did you say record on the cloud?
No, I did on the cloud.
Then you don't have to worry.
Okay.
Whoever
As
is
long,
the host can control it.
yeah, I'm the host. I should have given to Kirti Garu.
Make her the co-host and or give her the
and
host.
what
Okay.
happened?
No. Yeah.
You're
Okay.
muted,
What is the
Sureka.
next
You're
question?
muted.
Yeah, Kirtiji. Your question on death is clear?
I missed starting part, sir. So
No,
later
no,
part I
we just
understood.
started when you arrived.
Yeah,
Before
yeah,
that,
I understood like how much,
we
how,
were subjecting the environment to GOSSIP.
okay. Okay, so yeah. No, I mean, I know it like how much level we are at and how much conscious we are, awareness and all that matters when we exit our body. But I was curious to know that how that is projecting out as hell and heaven. Do they really exist, or it's just man-made terms to make everybody
It is
understand.
the perception of what you
Perception.
are taught. It's like, see, Joe
Hmm.
Dispenza, he goes to school and comes back with a very, very depressed face. He was a 7-year-old kid. He goes and makes this statement in school. He says, Jesus is Italian.
Yes, you were telling that story last time. Yes.
And then everybody bombards. He comes back. His mom asks, what happened? She says, see, I heard grandmother speak to Jesus in Italian.
Yeah.
And it was in a conversation. So if that is the case, then Jesus has to be Italian. Right?
So
Now,
it's our own like perceptions and beliefs, which
correct. But then Jesus is not Italian and you people never told me. So he became very upset. Correct. So it's like that. What is it that you are able to internalize from the whole thing? It is all dependent on that. In fact, he explains, right, in one of this one, Barry, he explains about his child, how the
yes,
name was created. The name was
Daniel,
created much before the baby was born,
yes.
right? But he felt that the child to be was talking to him. He writes that also. Yeah, this is some of the listening I was doing when I was half asleep. Yes.
Mhm.
I told you, I have this habit of switching on the phone, letting a lesson run while I am closed to the physical world. And that content keeps getting added. And now I'm able to recollect because a little while ago I said I have not read the chapter, right? But slowly things are coming. That means it has gone and entered the subconscious and it is flowing.
Mhm.
Right? Yeah. So
I
next
need to
question,
restart.
please.
Sorry, I think you.
What happened? So
I
Rekha,
need
you
to
said
restart
something.
my laptop.
Yeah. No,
So
so
I
have you
will shut
made
down.
you make Kirti the host and you continue?
I'm not able to do that actually because my screen blanked out. If I leave, I think it should be
Yeah,
okay.
but
I think it will make
Surekha,
you
if you
host.
have logged,
Huh?
Kirti, if you are logged in with the credentials, you can claim the host.
Yeah,
No, no,
yeah.
sir. I logged in with my personal credentials. I
But we can
think,
And
see
let
you,
us log
Sureka
out
ji.
and log in. No harm.
Yeah, I will
All of
log
us
out.
can
yeah.
do that.
Okay.
Sureka, sir, do you want me to log in?
Either way, but my laptop is like completely
No,
blank. Sorry.
be where you are. You
Uh-huh.
try to log in, Kirti. It
Okay,
will say
sir.
claim host. If it says reclaim host, then we are safe.
Yeah, yeah.
Otherwise, we can all log out and log in. No harm. Can we log out and log in?
Sir, even if sorry.